The best thing you could do for yourself during a breakup is focus on personal growth. Instead of obsessing about your ex, focus on healing your attachment issues. Learn the skills to repair that relationship. Learn to understand your ex better. And when they come back, you can reattract them in a natural, confident way. My workbook series and my creative healing course were designed to help you during no contact and to grow even if they don't come back. You can get them on my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about I had a side chick for almost a year.
I hope he's talking about chickens.
Unfortunately, in this case, he's not. No chickens, no chicken tenders,
Oh, man.
no chicken nuggies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, our actions can really catch up with us in life, and we may not mean to hurt people or do things to hurt other people, but we can become really selfish and do some really selfish things to other people. If you do things that mistreat people or take advantage of people, those consequences likely come back to you in different ways. Mm-hmm. So you always want to do your best to treat people with kindness and respect.
Right. And the truth always has its way of surfacing.
Oh, it's so true. In the most bizarre ways, mm-hmm. right? Like sometimes I hear stories about the truth coming out in ways that you're like, how did that even happen? Other than like the universe was like, right. Nope, this is going to come out.
And the more that people know about something, the more it's going to come out. If it's one person, it's one thing. If it's two people, it's one thing. If it's a relationship and you're having a relationship, going out on dates, these are things that tend to surface.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Being in a relationship is not easy. Mm-mm. And it's important to communicate with your partner. And if you're truly unhappy, you have to do your best to communicate with that person a way to fix it. If you don't want to fix it or it can't be fixed, it's better to move on than to just hurt other people.
Right.
So, we got an email coaching today. Let's just get into this one. They said, "Hi, Coach Greg." Greg. Greg. A lot of the Spanish families I used to work with called me Greg. Greg. Coach Greg. And the kids would always yell at them, "It's Greg, Mom! It's Greg!" It was so funny all the time. Hi there. I have a bad situation on my hands, which is my own fault. And honestly, I don't deserve any help. But I hope you will still help me. So you can see he's feeling guilty and, look, if you make a mistake, you got to do your best to learn from that mistake and try and remember what it feels like to be in a situation like this and say, I'm not going to do stuff like that anymore because I don't like the way it makes me feel, mm-hmm. and I don't like the way I hurt other people. Mm-hmm. I'm in my late 30s, a father of 2 kids. I love to work out and take good care of myself. I'm in a 2-year relationship with my girlfriend Stephanie, and everything between us is going well. I love her very much, but me being an a-hole, I had a side chick for over almost 1 year now. This is a little confusing. He says over almost 1 year.
That is a bit confusing.
Is it over a year or is it almost a year? It's over almost a year. I don't know what that means.
Oh, interesting.
Probably should have went with about a year.
And I'm also curious, maybe I'm already reading a lot into this, but him calling himself an a-hole. I think that there's a lot to that, right? I think there was probably some insecurity there that allowed this. There might have been some impulsivity. There might have been some lack of self-control. There might have been a lot of other things beneath just that word a-hole. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we make a mistake in a relationship, we can just kind of go to the extreme and say, well, I'm the worst. Mm-hmm. And that is not a good descriptor of what's actually going on internally within us. But I hear what he's saying.
It
He's
might
just saying
be
I'm
a good
jerk.
descriptor from her.
Yeah, probably. It's
From
probably
Krista.
verbatim.
Krista probably would disagree with you on that one. Okay. Oh, no, wait. With Stephanie.
Inconsiderate.
Yeah.
But I hear what he's saying.
Stephanie is the girlfriend.
Right.
Okay. A year ago, I came into contact with my ex-girlfriend, Krista. This is the other one. Mm-hmm. From where I was only 17. I always had a weak spot for her because she was, quote unquote, the one that got away. Anyway, what had to be a one-night stand turned into a second relationship for over almost a year. Here we have over almost again. Twice now he stumped us with over almost a year. Let's just say about a year.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so he had a second relationship. He was going to have a one-night stand, and instead of having a one-night stand, he decided to have an every-night stand.
I guess so.
Okay. Last week, she told me she was in love with me and couldn't take it anymore, and that I needed to make a choice between her and Stephanie.
And you're playing with fire in these kind of situations. He's now introducing a whole new relationship, and he's reached the crux where now Krista is having some expectations. She's going to have some needs. You know, a lot of times in these kind of situations, you don't really see things through or think about what the future will look like. And a lot of times it's one of those avoidance type of situations where you're just avoiding that eventual decision making that you'll have to face, but you're just kind of putting it down the line and waiting until things somehow disappear or get better, which they don't. They typically get worse.
Yep. Yeah, so this poor woman, I mean, well, maybe she knew, I guess she knew he was having an affair on his other girlfriend, so she's not victimless herself, but yeah, now she's hurting. But it's interesting because she knows that there's another woman involved, and so she's not really caring about the other woman involved, Stephanie. So, yeah, a lot of selfish stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on here. Okay, last week she told me she was in love with me and couldn't take it anymore, and that I needed to make a choice between her and Stephanie. Because it hurts too much when we had a couple of great days together and my long-distance girlfriend comes over again. So now we find out that Stephanie is long-distance, which he didn't mention.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I guess Stephanie's far away, comes to visit, Krista leaves, and it's back and forth. He's got alternating girlfriends here.
Long distance isn't a justification, right? It's context, but it's not justification.
No, yeah, I agree. I told her I couldn't leave my girlfriend Stephanie out of the blue because I do love her and got a good life with her, and that I don't want to lose her. And Krista either. I know I'm messed up.
Well, what's happening here is he's not giving Stephanie, his girlfriend, the opportunity to make a choice here.
That's right.
Right? This is all about what he wants. When we hide something, we're protecting something, and he's protecting the attention, validation, affection that he's getting from both Krista and Stephanie.
It's not fair.
Right. And when we talk about integrity, we're really talking about wholeness here, right? Are you the same person when nobody is looking? Are you the same person when Stephanie is back in her hometown or back where she lives and not near you? How do you act? Do you act like you're still a whole person that is in a relationship, or do you act like another person who's available for someone else? That's really, when we talk about that concept of integrity. I can see for him, this is something that kind of got out of hand unexpectedly, which a lot of affairs do. And, a lot of times it can be hard to conceptualize yourself as somebody who's in an affair or somebody who's a cheater.
Yeah.
Because you think, well, no, I'm not that person. What I'm doing is different.
Yeah.
Right? We try to justify it and make it make sense so that we can live with ourselves. But the reality is hard to face, and it's one of those things that you have to be willing to look at your behavior. I'm glad that he's able to see the wrongdoing in this by him saying that I know I messed up. But I really wonder what's going on there. What's preventing him from having these serious, direct conversations with Stephanie or with Krista? I feel like that's more of what's going on beneath all of this.
Yep, it's not fair what he's doing. I mean, you say you love her, but you've been having an affair on her for almost over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Almost over a year.
Yeah.
In a last text message she sent me, she told me that she was going to block me, not because of hate, because she loved me and needed to move on. My response was short, that I loved her, and if she missed me, she should hit me up again. I'm in no contact ever since. My question is to you, do you think she's coming back? She broke up with me a couple of times before with the same reason, but came back after a few weeks. But the difference this time is that I'm blocked. I think she's serious this time. Okay. Well, do I think she's coming back? I mean, what are you doing? Like you're gonna have her come back and you're gonna cheat on Stephanie again? Like, this is no way to live. Like, don't you feel awful? Like, how do you spend time with Stephanie all the time and not feel horrible about what you're doing here?
It seems like there's been some compartmentalization. When I'm with Stephanie, I'm with Stephanie. When I'm with Krista, I'm with Krista. And this is something to where when you live like this, you're living in a fragmented way, right? And that affects all of your life. And so that's something that I want you to consider. In order for things to start aligning and working more smoothly in your relationships, you need to fix what's going on internally here. That means facing the fact that you're hurting a lot of people with your behavior.
Yes.
And so this is something that we do see quite often, where people in these kind of situations come to us for advice on how to get a mistress back, right? Or how to get their affair partner back and want to continue that affair, right? We're in the industry of being direct and being very clear with people, fostering healthy kind of connections. There's no way that I could encourage, using any kind of technique to repair that relationship if we're missing the bigger picture here, which is the emotional damage that's being caused to the parties involved.
Look, I don't think it's going back to the way that it was. Even if she comes back, even if Krista comes back, I don't think she's going to settle for being this side chick any longer. I think it's telling you, because she's broken up with you several times, it's hurting her. Think about what she's telling you. It's painful for her to do this. Do you want her to do this to herself? Like, you have to make a choice on who you want to be with, Stephanie or Krista. Or you need to communicate to Stephanie that you're unhappy and why. But leading both of these women on for so long, you say you feel bad about this and you're beating yourself up, but it sounds like you're asking, how do I put myself back in that same situation?
Right.
No, we're not going to encourage you to do that. Krista has the right to know who she's with, and you have to make a decision. It's not fair that you're going to get Stephanie or Krista back and she's going to hurt again, being a side chick.
Right. One thing I really want you to think about is that the truth will set you free. I know it can be a really scary thing to admit some of what's happened here, but I also think it will cause a lot of liberation to those people that need to know the truth of what's going on here, including yourself. It can be something really scary to do, but thinking about just that value and that trait of integrity, of wholeness, it can also be something that's freeing for you. So, I would think about just these relationships, think about the amount of respect that you have for these women, and if you do respect them, do you respect them enough to tell them the truth? Yep. To face, what's happening here, and be able to face the consequences of them. I can see a lot of men in these kind of situations are really vulnerable, and a lot of times what I see is also a lack of social support. It's almost like they depend on multiple women to fulfill all of their emotional needs, including ones that a good support system could fulfill, a good non-romantic platonic support system could fulfill. And so that's something that I would encourage, find a good group of people, non-judgmental, that you can trust, and be honest with the women that you say you care about.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming back to do this again. She might come back, and if you're still with Stephanie, I don't think she's going to want to do this. Mm-hmm. But, how would you feel if you found out Stephanie had been with Ben for almost over a year. Right? I mean, honestly, how would you feel if Stephanie was hooking up with another guy for that long behind your back? Think about how that would feel.
Yeah, we hadn't even mentioned just the safe sex part of things too. You know, you're
Good
putting
point.
her at risk from a health stance.
Yes, that's not fair because what if Krista goes off and hooks up with somebody else and gives you something and then you give it to Stephanie?
Just things to consider. You know, the big part about concealing these types of things is you're not giving that other person the ability to make the decision if they really want to be with you or not. And when you have this type of deception in a relationship for a long time, you really lose authenticity. Why have a relationship with Stephanie if you can't be 100% yourself? Why have a relationship with Krista if you're not 100% available to her? Right? So this is what I mean about having that kind of social support, that backing to say, okay, I have friends that I know, love, and care about me, and I have that strength to be honest with the people around me because that's the life that you want to live. So lot to think about.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about that's going on here, but you really want to think about, you know, you want to make decisions that you feel good about, right? And you have kids. You want to be a good role model for them. And so you have to think about, does this make you feel good, knowing that you're hurting both of these people that you say you care about? You got to figure something else out. I don't think it's going to work like this. It's already causing Krista a lot of pain. You know, to me, I feel the most sorry for Stephanie in this situation because as far as we could tell, she doesn't know any of this is going on. Krista knows what she's doing is wrong. Right? Krista's not completely innocent here either. Right? She knows what she's doing is wrong. And obviously you know what you're doing here more than anybody. But if you don't act with integrity, you're not going to feel good inside. And it's going to have an impact on you and maybe feeling anxious or depressed or just not too happy with yourself.
Yeah, and I also think it will prevent you from having the relationship that you actually want. You described Krista as the one who got away. And there's a part of that makes me wonder if there's a bit of this fantasy of what would life be like with that person that, you know, we were together at a young age and it could have been something great, right? So sometimes the fantasy of something can destroy our reality of something that's really, really good. So just consider those things.
A lot going on here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments in the comment section today.
Right.
All right.
A lot of confessions. This is going to be the confessional.
Confession. No, I think there's going to be a lot of anger.
That too.
All right. So hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'll be here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name at the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.